to RazorActive. We have gone a long break, and now we're back with the World Cup. And today, with us, we have two people. We have Ernest, and we have, of course, Bruce. Now, what's with all these silent waves, man?
Silent vuvuzela.
Silent Mexico.
Nice. Okay, now how are you guys finding the World Cup so far?
Interesting. I've been finding it very hard to stay away from a lot of the matches. I mean, I wanted to stay away from Slovakia, Italy, but it was too compelling.
Yes.
You know, it was really good matches. So
and it's quite. We do see some of the shocks that has happened in the World Cup, like New Zealand being unbeaten. If you know what I'm saying. Imagine New Zealand unbeaten in football.
And how can you not be entertained by England? Come on, man.
Yes, they're up and down curve.
And great goals as well. Really good goals.
Yes. Fabio Guagliarella. My top goal of the tournament. So far.
The chip, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
interesting.
fantastic.
No, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. I would actually pick Higuain as one of my favorite because of the hat trick. Yeah.
I like that Kaisuke's.
Higuain. Yes.
Higuain.
Yeah. Higuain. Higuain sounds gross, so Higuain to me.
Okay. I like this Kaisuke Honda's goal. Remember
against Denmark? The long-range free kick?
Wow.
Oh, we'll be talking about that
and
in
even
a bit.
the solo effort. The one that he created, the third goal against Denmark, where he cut in past two players.
Oh, yes.
Later lah. First we talk about...
he did what Cristiano Ronaldo always wanted to do with the cut back with the left trailing leg and all. You got to watch
basically
this.
tapping the ball behind him and bedazzled two defenders.
It's a Japanese dance.
Going out of point. First, we're going to talk about the world-class referee muckups. And of course, this World Cup has been full of the world-class referee muckups. And the one that a lot of people are talking about, of course, would be the England match with Germany.
Surely crossed the line. It's not been given. Surely that was it.
So Bruce, tell us, was it really the referee's fault?
In my opinion, yes, it's a very clear goal by Frank Lampard, and the referee should have actually consulted with the linesman, or the linesman should have consulted with the other linesman and see how it is like, or maybe perhaps the fourth match official before giving the decision. Because for an important decision like this in a big game, yes, it might have an effect on either team's mentality or mindset.
I think for me, the fault lies with FIFA, the ruling body, because if you're not going to have...
When in doubt, blame FIFA.
Yeah, because if you're not going to have the video replays, then you have to have a guy who is stationed at the goal line itself to be able to see. But of course, that's an experiment in the Europa League, which they will not bring in yet.
Beckenbauer actually did say, though, that, football is supposed to be complete with mistakes and all, and, it's part and parcel of the World Cup, so it should completely remain that way.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you think about it, FIFA probably, in a way, wants all these referee... Well, I don't know whether they like me saying this, but they want these referee muckups because we keep on talking about them for years, and it makes for a lot of talking points in history. So that's a good point, but I think... At some point, you've got to realize, like for example, yesterday's the England match. When the shot went in off the crossbar, the linesman was at the last point of action, which is where Jermaine Defoe had passed to Frank Lampard. He couldn't have run like 10, 15 meters when the ball was traveling like 90-odd kilometers an hour. No way he could have been at the goal line just to see whether it crossed. So that's where they got to decide. Are they going to put someone there at the goal line permanently? Or they're going to have a video replay, or they're going to expect these linesmen to run all the way back in time in the snap of a finger, because it's not going to happen. Look at the Spurs, Manchester United game. Yeah, that was from like almost midfield.
Halfway line,
You can't expect the linesman to run all the way back just to be sure and then give that. It has to depend on the peripheral vision of the referees, and no way they can do that. So,
no, the pitch is not a small one. That's for sure. It's not a 3-on-3 kind of a game, where the pitch is a lot. So there are a few technology options, of course. Like you mentioned, there's additional officials, which they're currently doing at UEFA. There is the microchip ball. Adidas said that they actually have implanted a chip in a ball and been able to track its location. But, of course, they also made the Jabulani, so who knows. There's also, the tiny cameras in position on the goalposts and stuff like that. So which do you think would actually be the best solution for World Cup? And should it even be there in World Cup in the first place?
I wouldn't say that we should put the cameras at the goalpost, more like the motion sensors. I think that would be much more practical and more viable for such situations like this. Because in terms of, let's say, for example, you want to put a microchip into the soccer balls or the footballs inside, it might break down accidentally during the game through too much kicking of the ball.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of the referee, though, for the game? I mean, the referees so far, some of them have come into contention. Not just, of course, Lariondas, who actually had this, costly mistake that really, in the end, like you said, might have cost the mentality for the rest of the game for England. He also has actually blundered before, and he was actually banned for 6 months in his own zone for previous stuff in the World Cup. What do you think of the referees here? I mean, my personal, love-hate relationship with Howard Webb.
Yeah, I think the problem with is again, here is a World Cup, right? And FIFA is also, I guess, a bit stuck here. They've got to choose referees that are sort of representative of different continents and all that. And the different standards that may be applied in different continents are not always the same as your favorite English Premier League and Howard Webb and all that. So, and even then, it could be. So I guess, it will happen every 4 years. It's going to be there. I guess they really have to tighten up the act every time it comes around. So.
Now, did you actually look at the Argentina match?
Und der Pass auf Tevez, der hält nicht richtig fest. Oh, dann Messi und dann Tevez.
Yes, Tevez's first goal was actually offside. But, such things happens in football. Like what happened to England, what happened to the United States this year, what happened to Algeria with the innocent send-off of their captain when it was Hassan Yebda, who should be the instigator.
There's actually a quote that we shall end up this clip with. With two such huge decisions being proved to be incorrect within such a short space of time and costing both England and Mexico dear, the pressure will be on FIFA to take some action. See you in the next clip.